and welcome back to the latest edition of At You and I. I'm your host, Michael Osheim. Joining us today is the young Sinatra himself. You know him as Stephen Jersch, aka Swiss. He's released 8 singles through SoundCloud, 7 on Spotify, and recently released his first music video. Stephen, it's great to have you here today.
Young Sinatra, kind of a stretch, but it's great to be here. I appreciate it.
All right, fair enough. Well, what exactly inspired you to begin a career in music?
I've just been a huge music fan. I know a lot of people say that, but I feel like everyone kind of hits this phase where they really like rap music when they're young. It's kind of popular to like, and I never really grew out of that. And so I actually got the opportunity to work at this summer school program called Hip Hop Literacy. And so I was basically teaching kids how to write because I was good at writing lyrics, but I had never actually really attempted to record any of my own music. And being in the studio with the kids, helping them record, it was just really fun. I love doing it. So I was like, you know what, I got to start doing it myself. So.
Awesome, very cool. Who are a few people that you look up to in the industry for inspiration?
My number one all time has got to be Tech Nine. I don't know if you know who that is, but yeah, he was kind of the first guy I heard that I was like, dang, what is that? Like, I like that, and so he's my number one. He's the guy I always look up to. But when it comes to people who like I look up to other than him, obviously like the OGs like Tupac and Biggie and guys like MF Doom and all those guys. I really look up to all the old heads, as people call them, because I like the integrity with the lyrics and stuff. So
absolutely,
yeah, I look up to those guys.
Excellent. Well, you sort of already answered this question, but you know, rap music is constantly evolving. Thinking back to the origins of rap and hip hop, are there any names that sort of stick out to you as the pioneers of the art form? Yeah,
like I said, Tupac and Biggie, and like you said, rap is constantly evolving. So there's kind of feels like every few years there's kind of a different phase of rap music. You know, it used to be people going at each other, kind of like battle rap, and now it's kind of like a sad rap phase. If you listen to anything, it's people talking about like their problems and girls and doing drugs and all that stuff to cope with their pain and stuff. So, but yeah, I'd probably still roll with just Tupac and Biggie and those guys.
Awesome.
Kind of started everything.
Right on. Now, do you prefer doing covers of songs or putting on your own original music, and why or why not?
I would say my own original music. I'm not opposed to doing covers. I've never done a cover before, but I'm real original with it. I like my songs to have some sort of message, whether people understand it or not, something that I understand.
Right.
And so I just like it to kind of be my own.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Do you have a piece of music that you've created yourself that you're most proud of?
I'd say probably Apologetic, because I have a music video to show for it, but each song kind of means a little something different to me, because I can remember, you know, when I first heard the beat to it, and kind of I can remember the process of writing it and kind of what I was thinking about while I was writing each song. Right. So everything, it's all important to me kind of in its own way, but I think Apologetic at the end of the day, because I have something to show for it, and it's my most streamed song, and so
absolutely. Yeah. Well, we'll get a glimpse of that later on, but first, we all know the music industry can be pretty unforgiving. How have you managed to make a living off of your art form, and sort of what suggestions do you have for someone who's just getting started in the business?
I wouldn't even say I make a living off of it, really. At this point, you know, I go to UNI too. I'm a student here. I just work part-time, and it's more of a hobby right now, but I do put my music on all social media platforms and all streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and all the ones you've never really used or heard of, like Tidal and Deezer and iHeartRadio and all that stuff. But every time I get a stream from that, I get paid for it. So it's like less than a cent per stream. But if you do the math, if you get about 1 million streams on Spotify, you get $6,000.
Yeah,
so
not bad.
At some point it'd be great to get there, but yeah, I have not been making fat stacks off my money yet. So
not yet.
Hopefully soon.
Well, what was it like sort of working with Josh Milliken and on your music video Apologetic?
Josh was awesome. I remember we both work at Hy-Vee together, and he had heard through the grapevine some people were like listening to one of my songs we work with, and so Josh came over. He's like, "Hey man, I heard you make music. If you check out my YouTube channel, I'll check out your music." So I sent him my stuff, and he was a huge fan of it, and he wanted to make a music video, and he was all in all along. Didn't really expect me to pay for anything. He didn't ask too much of me at all. He was really good to work with. It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, we have a clip from the music video Apologetic that we're going to run here really quick. Let's take a look.
be so apologetic? Why you gotta be so apologetic? Why you gotta be so apologetic? Why you gotta be so apologetic? She wanna take a pic with me, said I'm photogenic. I've been great since day one, it must be genetic. Been known to murder a beat, I might need a medic. Don't apologize for what I do, cause that'd be pathetic. Mistake number one that I made, but do not mistake it, I'm winning the fight. Won't even matter when I'm getting paid, baiting the hook just to see if they buy. So don't even try and play me cause I might switch up on you like my name was Hawaii. Unless you a day one, then I'm ready to die. Why you gotta be so apologetic? It's a dog-eat-dog type world, don't forget it. So I'll fight by using my words, cause I'm poetic. When things don't go your way, don't be pessimistic. Look out for snakes in the grass, they be hissing. Hear them telling me Swiss won't be, but I'm optimistic. That's why I'm not so apologetic. That's why I'm not so. Days, it's been days. Riders block, got me on delay. I wake up in the morning right before the break it down and throw a beat up on my speaker, hoping that I think it's something from the words I gotta seek. I'm pure adrenaline like hunting, like I'm hunting, like I'm hunting, like I'm hunting.
And there you have it. Pretty impressive stuff. Now, where did you get your inspiration from that video exactly?
Honestly, a lot of the shots and stuff for the video was Josh's idea.
Okay.
When it comes to the inspiration for the song, though, when I was a kid, I would always kind of find myself like saying sorry a lot for stuff that wasn't even my fault, just to kind of keep the peace.
Right.
You know, I've always been like a people pleaser, and it's kind of gotten to the point where I realized, like, you know, I got to look out for number one a little bit. I got to stop apologizing so much.
Absolutely.
And so kind of, if you listen to the whole song, kind of the hook or the chorus says why you got to be so apologetic. And it's kind of me talking to myself in the third person, just because that's kind of something I've discovered about myself and something I've been trying to change. So.
Right, absolutely. I think that's probably pretty common among us Midwesterners, just constantly apologizing for the smallest things, you know, which makes sense. Now, how do you sort of get involved with the community? Are you able to sort of mix in your music, your passion for music and the art form with perhaps some community work as well? Oh,
absolutely. Like I kind of mentioned already, I work at that hip-hop summer school, which is a summer school that's put on for kind of underprivileged kids in Waterloo and who are really into rap. And rap nowadays, there's not a whole lot of people to look up to, you know, especially as a kid. You know, it's all about gangbanging and stuff like that. Right. So, and a lot of them are interested in making their own music. So we kind of take their fire and love for music and we kind of use it as a positive outlook for them. We have them write about topics and we get to take them to studios and stuff. And so I've got to meet a lot of cool people. I live at the house that I record all my music in, and I was able to meet the people I live with through that program. Very cool. I also work at an after-school program once a week where I kind of do the same thing, just with a smaller group of kids where it can be a little bit more personal with them. And I mean, other than that, I try and just get my name out there. You know, I try not to be overbearing with it, and I make music. I try not to be like that, but anytime the opportunity presents itself to maybe make it known that I made music, I like to take that because it's all about who you know. So eventually you're going to tell it to the right person.
100%.
If Josh wouldn't have found out, I wouldn't be sitting here right now, and I wouldn't have a music video. So
exactly.
Yeah.
No, it is absolutely about who you know, just about networking, getting to know as many people as you can, and then one thing leads to another.
Exactly.
Snowballs, and who knows what can happen from there. Now, do you do live performances here in the area or anywhere for that matter?
I've only done one live performance, and it was for an event in Waterloo, and it was more just people could come and kind of showcase what they like to do artistically that would benefit Waterloo. So I have a song called Pray for Waterloo. It was the first song I ever made, first song I ever wrote. Cool. So it was only like a group of like 30 people there. Okay. And it was put on by one of my former professors, and she asked me to come do it. Gotcha. So I've never really done like the bar scene of like an actual concert. I'm hoping once I graduate, if I'm still have the ball rolling with music as much as I have it right now, I kind of want to take maybe 6 months to a year off before I try and find a job and just see if I can get some shows in and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So more of that I feel like is in my future. But
absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy performing live? Just from the brief taste that you had of it, was that something that?
It was fun. I'll definitely need to work on it, get my stage presence there a little bit.
Absolutely.
But and all that'll come with. I mean, you can only do so much practicing in your room and stuff, and in your car. You just gotta
get up there on stage.
Yeah, you gotta get a few performances under your belt, kind of see what style fits you. But yeah,
I mean, I'm sure there's something to be said about just having that immediate feedback from the audience, you know, just having them like cheer you on, you know. Once you start kind of vibing with them a little bit, then you know, then you got a real show going on.
And I've started going to more rap concerts since I started to make music, kind of not like actually in the crowd taking notes, you know, I'm feeling myself and I'm in the crowd, but just kind of seeing what all these other rappers do to engage the crowd and stuff. So
absolutely. Is there sort of a mainstream artist out there that you kind of look up to in terms of stage presence out at all?
In terms of stage presence, well, I just went to a Tom McDonald show the other day. I don't know if you know who Tom McDonald is, but his stage presence was really good. I don't know if you heard of the group Flatbush Zombies. They get their audience really into it, just jumping around and all that stuff. So I'd say those guys for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Swiss, for coming and talking to us today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
You were very welcome. Now, coming up, we have our Pet of the Week, our next guest, and following that, we have a video game addict, Chandler Moore, that we'll be interviewing. But first, we will take you to see these short public service announcements.
See that cute little dog in the pet store window? Chances are it came from a puppy mill, a breeding facility that forces caged, neglected, and often sick dogs to churn out puppy after puppy to be sold for profit. Meanwhile, millions of wonderful, healthy pets end up in animal shelters. This leads to the killing of more than 9,000 by the end of today. But with one simple choice, you can help, just by deciding to adopt instead of purchase your next pet. Animal shelters are full of amazing pets looking for a home. When you adopt your new best friend, not only are you saving a life, you're taking a stand against puppy mills. Now imagine sharing the joy of adopting with your friends. Seeing the smart choice and impact you've made, they adopt their next pets and share with 5 of their friends who share with 5 more. Before long, thousands get involved. Pet stores stop selling dogs from puppy mills, and even more lives are saved. And with your help, we can save them all. Visit bestfriends.org to learn more.
This is my dog, Colt. We got Colt at a dog shelter in Fort Dodge, Iowa. The dog shelter was Almost Home, Iowa. And we picked him up when he was only a year old. He was still ginormous even when we did pick him up. He came with all the tricks. He came with knowing how to play fetch. He knew how to play tug of war. The only thing he had a really big problem with was jumping. I picked Colt out from the shelter because he was the biggest dog there, and he also has brown eyes, and for some reason I just wanted a dog to have the same color eyes as me. Don't ask me why, that's just what I wanted. He was just a big stress reliever in my life, and he still is today. I just don't get to see him as much, so it kind of sucks, but it is what it is, isn't it, bud?
We all depend on technology to communicate, to bank, and none of us know how to read and write code.
The first program I wrote asked things like, what's your favorite color? Or how old are you?
I wrote a program to play tic-tac-toe.
I first learned how to make a green circle and a red square appear on the screen.
You're just trying to make something, trying to transfer something from your mind to the computer or to a tablet. It's an experience.
The whole limit in the system is just that there just aren't enough people who are trained and have these skills today.
The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. You know, you're going to look like you have magic powers compared to everybody else.
Great coders are today's rock stars. That's it.
Welcome back to At You and I. Our next guest is notorious for gaming sessions lasting as long as 8 hours. Chandler Moore, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. 8 hours is a stretch, but that's all right. I'll take it.
All right, fair enough. I appreciate you clarifying there. Now, are you still an active Fortnite player?
Yeah, I am. 2 to, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours a day, somewhere around there. At least sometime,
so it's a daily thing still
pretty
then?
much, yeah.
All right, fair enough. When did your addiction or obsession, I'll say?
I started playing the game about 2 weeks after it came out.
Okay.
I was like, I don't know what I'm playing right now.
Right.
I stopped. About a week later, I came back and I was like, I'm kind of into this. And since then, it's been like every day. Even got me to get a PC and start playing on there. So it's
right on.
pretty much every day.
Is there a difference between like playing it on PC versus Xbox or PlayStation?
Yeah, there's actually a big difference. People don't realize that. If you play on console, you'll never know that. But the game isn't really made to run on that. So once you get to like end games and stuff like that, the consoles just kind of can't keep up with it.
Right.
And the PCs run it way smoother. It's easier to play and build, all that stuff. It's just optimized better. So yeah, there is a difference.
Yeah, right. So, and obviously Fortnite has been in the mainstream for a while now. Some even believe that Fortnite is becoming a small yet powerful metaverse. What are kind of your thoughts on that?
It is interesting, yeah. They have all these crossovers going on all the time. They have had the Thanos one with Marvel, and they're actually doing that again with Endgame coming out. They've been tweeting out some stuff that the Endgame is near kind of stuff.
Right.
So they're having another thing with that. They always have, like, they have the John Wick skin in the game. There's always stuff going on in the game that kind of incorporates all kinds of social media and stuff like that. And I think that's how it stays popular as well, which is very smart on Epic Games' part. That's how they stay relevant.
Good marketing. I know they had like some sort of like live concert or something like that.
Yeah, Marshmello held a virtual concert. It was actually really cool. I missed the first show because I don't know what I was doing, probably working or something, but I caught the later one. It was really cool. They played like 5 or 6 songs, and they actually had like a stadium set up in game. They went through the process of like having it set up.
Interesting.
And then they played it and stuff, and it was like the whole lobby in there, and you were all flying around and stuff. It was really cool.
Very cool.
It was cool to see.
I mean, I've never been a part of a virtual concert before, but it sounds
I don't know.
like
It was cool. Yeah, it was interesting.
Awesome. Well, moving from, with the rise of Apex Legends, a competitor of Fortnite, do you think that developers of Fortnite and Epic Games should feel threatened by other companies who have sort of copied their formula for success?
I think they definitely should. It's good that new competition comes into the game and kind of mixes it up, makes them think about what they're doing and stay on top. But like with Apex, that came out a couple months ago, and it was big for a while because it was something new, something fresh. But now it's fallen off because the game isn't like, I don't know, I'm not sure why it fell off, but it did, and Fortnite kind of stayed up there. So it's definitely good for them to have competition come into the game, but I don't know how long it'll be until somebody actually kind of like topples them, because they're a very unique game and they stay relevant. So
yeah, and I mean, you've seen other gaming companies sort of copy what Fortnite has been doing. You know, I don't know specifically, but I know Call of Duty sort of has a game mode like it.
Yeah, they try.
I would imagine Battlefield had done the same
Battlefield has one, Counter-Strike has one, Call of Duty brought in one, and it's a good opportunity, but like Call of Duty, they just kind of made it and they didn't do anything with it, and it kind of died. So there's that, and I don't know, it's just, Fortnite has a very different kind of play style with the building, and it kind of just makes it stick and you want to play it more. So
interesting. Yeah, talk a little bit more about that. What sort of separates or sets Fortnite apart from like Apex Legends and all these other sort of knockoffs that they're trying to copy?
I really do think it is the building. Like with Apex and that, it's pretty much just like a shooter game, like Call of Duty. You're just going around, shoot. Fortnite is, you can definitely set yourself apart with your skill. There's just that added layer with the building and the editing the building and stuff. It really shows skill gaps, I would say, is what it does.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly have to keep your mind on one thing, you know, or more than one thing at a time. Which
you always have to be focused on multiple things at once, which is a lot different from a lot of other games that are in the scene right now. So yeah.
Absolutely. Now, moving on to content creation, what sort of content do you produce on a regular basis, or if at all?
I stream, not that often. It kind of depends. The game's kind of in an iffy spot right now, I think. But I stream, and that's about it for now. I've thought about doing YouTube every once in a while, but I just haven't gotten into it. So just mainly streaming every once in a while is what I do.
Okay, sort of. I guess I don't. Streaming doesn't explain it well.
Oh, okay, that's fair. It's
I apologize.
So it's Twitch TV is what it's called, and it's like a live stream of like me playing the game kind of thing, and so I upload that as I play, and it's live, and people can interact through chat and stuff like that.
Very
so,
cool.
Yeah.
Do you have like a lot of consistent viewers on that?
It depends on the day and what I'm doing.
Okay.
Sometimes yes, like there was a UNI tournament that we had, and that went really well. There was like 20 people in there all day, so I mean that was really cool to see.
Yeah.
But in general, yeah, there's about 5 or 6 people that tune in at least every time I stream. So yeah,
absolutely.
Small little base, which is still cool.
It's interesting how I think Fortnite might be the first one, at least in recent memory, first game that is sort of like bringing the virtual world into like actual reality.
It definitely is. It's very weird. Before Fortnite, if you told somebody like, "Oh, I'm a video gamer," they're like, "Okay."
Right.
Now everybody's like, "Oh, I'm going home to play some Fortnite." Everybody's like, "Oh, that's
about this.
Yeah, you're like, "Oh, that's cool." And
This
I'm
guy
like,
doesn't
"Oh,
mess around."
Yeah, and I'm like, "Okay, whatever." But Fortnite really brought it into like the mainstream and helped people kind of see it as less of a like a loner kind of thing and more of a playing with friends kind of thing. So
absolutely. Yeah. Which is sort of what online gaming has always been. I think
it
Fortnite
really has
might
been,
just be bringing that into the mainstream.
It's just really kind of helped people see that that's what it's about,
Absolutely.
is the playing with people and having fun. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, I know both of you live in an environment with multiple other content creators. What sort of atmosphere does that create? Like, are you constantly creating together, or do you kind of let one another do your own things? Or
for my house, I live in a house with about 7 or 8 other people. It's kind of one of them's a driver, so he's kind of like there half the time, not there half the time. But 5 of us make music. There's a producer, there's a dance choreographer.
Very cool.
One of the guys actually used to be from a group from Waterloo called Coda Red, and they were on the show While and Out with Nick Cannon. They got to perform on there.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool. Usually everyone's kind of off doing their own thing, and then once it's finished, they'll kind of bounce it off everybody.
Right.
I'd say most of the stuff I actually do with my roommates is more just like freestyling. Like we'll freestyle rap a lot. I'm sure you guys know like what that is and stuff. So, and that really gets like the creative juices flowing. A lot of the times I'll be freestyling, and then I'll take half the stuff I just said in a freestyle and incorporate it into a song. Like some of the lyrics from Apologetic is stuff that I just came up with off the top of my head.
Okay.
So
do you just have like recording sessions, you know, and just record like one big freestyling session, and then kind of pick and choose what you liked out of it?
Sometimes, yeah. I actually, on my Snapchat, I post a nightly freestyle. So I freestyle every night and then put it on my Snap story. And a lot of lyrics from songs you'll hear kind of pulled out from those. So
sure,
yeah,
very cool. What about you?
I would say it's kind of the same. I live with 4 other guys, and one of them is Josh Milliken, who made your YouTube video. And then another one, his name's Josh as well, and he streams sometimes. I would say it's kind of the same kind of thing. We're usually doing our own thing, but if we need to, we come together and make something cool. And like just this last weekend, we had a prank video and filled one of our roommates. Filled our roommate's room with cups, or like red cups with water in them, entire room. So there was that. So yeah, it's kind of if we need something, or if somebody has an idea, we're like, oh, let's make this. Otherwise, we're kind of just doing our own thing. So yeah, pretty much the same kind of idea.
Yeah.
Have either one of you thought about maybe creating like a group within the group that you are already living with, and sort of creating content on a regular basis, or do you prefer to kind of do things on your own a little bit?
I'm in the process of making a collab song with one of my roommates. As far as like becoming a group, like I kind of like keep my stuff individual. Like my music is my music, so I'm not really trying to be like associate myself with like a musical group. You know what I mean? But like I'll definitely do collabs with my roommates and stuff, and like try and like maybe make beats with them and stuff like that.
Very cool.
But as musically, I'm an individual. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
I'd say again, kind of the same. Like if somebody's on playing Fortnite or something, and I'm streaming, I'll play with them, stream with them, have a good time. But streaming is kind of a solo thing in general, so I'm out there playing by myself, and I kind of prefer to do it that way, which is fine. So
very cool. Now, I know, obviously we're all fans of just sort of mainstream culture in whatever art form it is, but are there any sort of content creators that stand out to the two of you? They don't have to be exclusive to your industry, obviously, but...
I would say for like creation and stuff like that, there's obviously PewDiePie. I'm sure you've heard of him. The T-Series PewDiePie thing. There's that. He stays on top of the game no matter what it is. There's him, and then there's some Casey Neistat. I don't know if you've heard of him. And then some of the bigger streamers are like Ninja. He really brought Fortnite into the mainstream. So there's him. And there's also Tfue, who's the biggest streamer right now, I would say. And other than that, not really. There's just so many people out there right now.
Absolutely. Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not really huge into like the streaming and all that stuff. Like I'm not like all the subscribing on YouTube and stuff. I'm not huge into that. I'd say one is just like I like to watch music videos. So like Cole Bennett who makes a lot of really, really cool music videos. So I always enjoy watching his stuff. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Now, clearly, there's a lot of money to be made in both industries. Obviously, we see it with music all the time, even on YouTube. I mean, we see, PewDiePie. I'm sure he's making whatever millions every year. I have no idea. I mean, obviously, the money you're getting from YouTube is different than endorsement deals and everything like that, but money nonetheless. But obviously, both industries come with a certain amount of risk, almost very similar to the lottery. Is the risk worth the reward in both of your opinions?
What do you mean by like risk? Like just putting yourself out there, kind of?
Yeah.
I'd say I try and keep my stuff fairly clean and stuff. So I feel like I don't put myself at much risk compared to other people, just because like I work with kids and stuff, and they always like to listen to my music, and I'm not really allowed to let them talk about vulgar stuff in their music. So if they hear it in my music, then I mean, I'm not saying I've never sworn in a song or anything like that, but I usually try and keep it clean. So I don't really feel like I'm putting myself at a huge risk, but at the same time, you are putting yourself out there.
Absolutely.
Like I know I don't have like the greatest voice of all time, so like just even the thought of, there's probably people out there who don't like it, who are talking trash about me right now. That seems to be a little bit of a risk sometimes, but at the end of the day, I don't really care. I'm just doing me, just doing me, so.
That's fair enough. Yeah. Well, moving back to gaming a little bit, let's talk Call of Duty, which was obviously an extremely popular video game franchise from 2007 all the way through 2014, and obviously they're still making games. But how much gas do you think is sort of left in the tank for Call of Duty, and why do you think they're sort of struggling to keep players interested?
I heard you were a big Blackout fan, so I don't want to trash.
I've never played Fortnite.
Okay,
I play
don't
Blackout
trash
every day.
Too hard. I don't think there's much gas left in the tank, honestly. I'm thinking this next game or the game after, if it doesn't go well, they're done for.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I mean, personally, in my opinion, the last good game they made was Modern Warfare 2, but that's
that was
just
a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. And then, of course, you have Black Ops, which has the zombies and everything. To me, it just doesn't feel like they're changing a whole lot, And it definitely feels as though just the gaming industry as a whole is sort of going in a new direction with games like Fortnite and Apex, and
that is kind of their problem. Yeah, there's not much room for growth in that game. It's kind of just a run and shoot game.
Exactly.
And it's about new things now, and sticking to the same old isn't going to work. They tried to implement like the jetpacks and stuff. Nobody liked it, and I think they're going downhill fast. So yeah.
That's fair. Well, speaking of up-and-coming games, sort of, are there any new games that were recently released, either recently released or soon to be released, that you're looking forward to that catch your attention at all?
There's a game called Hightail coming out. It's like a Minecraft kind of game, but I think Minecraft gets kind of boring, and this is it has a storyline to it, so I think that'll be fun. Other than that, not really. Yeah.
That's fair. What about music? Are there any new, maybe up-and-coming artists or new music coming out that you?
Well, my boy Tech9 dropped an album the other day, so I've been bumping that pretty hard. But the artists that I pay attention to, really, there's not a whole lot I've heard about stuff coming out. But yeah, I've just been listening to a lot of Tech9's album, and then I'm in the process of making a 3-song collab EP with someone, and then an 8-song mixtape. So it's been more kind of focusing on my music than what other people have been releasing recently. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, Swiss, Chandler, I appreciate you being on the show today. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
You are very welcome. And to conclude our show, we have a recurring segment, Cite the Celebrity. Let's take a look. Never would have thought Conor McGregor would say anything like that. Thank you all so much for tuning in to @UNI. We'll see you next time.